Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Skipped right over Monday, going right into Tuesday. I hope you had a fantastic, fabulous weekend filled with memories. We all know that when we celebrate, when we have our Labor Day weekend, that fall is not far behind. Hoot sex in the house. I love it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am still sweating. I have to say, my hair is actually a little crispy from that workout. Today we had the old 96er, grizzle and all. Kylie, good morning. I'm not going to lie, it was a little rough. I love my steady state heart rate workouts. This one was a little, this one pushed me to my physical limits. I loved it. Amy, good morning. Katie, good morning. Karen, good morning. Deanna, good morning. Did Chuck make it? Unfortunately, Chuck will not be with us today. Dee, good morning. Yes,
You're laughing right now. You are the weirdest person I know.
Dee, good morning. Yes, I'm still sweating as well. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, yes, like my hair is soaked like I took a shower. I don't know. That was quite the workout this morning. Yes, if you were there, you may be questioning whether or not Chuck survived. He is with us though, not only in spirit, but he is with us physically as well. Lisa, good morning. Hootsek, that is one evil laugh.
Right?
Jenny, good morning. All right, this is my shirt, and this is coffee. That is how I feel today. Monica, hello. I love it. Dee, I paid for my weekend of fun. You know, even it's so funny. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know if you're talking about food or drink or whatever, but even taking a weekend off to recover, anytime you come back to work out after a weekend off, it always feels a little torturous. It just does. It just does. But whatever, we all had a great weekend, right? I hope you all did. I hope we all had amazing memories. Today is a special day. It was 1 year ago today. It was day one of our first 21-day challenge. We had no idea where it was going to take us. We had no idea how it was going to turn out. But I want to tell you that 1 year later, we are thriving more today than we did at our peak at BBF in our physical location. I just want you to know that. We are thriving more today. We have more members and we have a better community. And what I mean by that is not a better community, but our community is more entwined. When we had the physical location, it was segregated because, people went to certain times and so they didn't know anybody. Everybody now knows everybody in one way or another, and it's just different. And of course, it's amazing. It has such a family feel. I have to say, it has been quite a year, but we're going to talk about this past year. Dee said it was a great weekend with our kids and totally worth it. Corey, good morning, coaches. All right, Coach Chuck, are you ready? The dogs, they want our attention. As soon as we get on here. Speaking of dogs, Lisa, I saw your new little puppy and I saw your grand boy taking care of him. Don't they make the best babysitters? They are. They do. Patrick, good morning. It's been a while. Miss these morning talks. It's an awesome community. I love it. Kylie, I agree with the family feel. I love that. All right. The title of today's video is 12 months later, what's changed? Now, some of you have not been with us since last September. Some of you have been with us since before September. So take this in whatever context you want to take it in for however long you've been with us. Kimberly, good morning. A year ago today was day one of our first 21-day challenge. Why did we do it? So September, we had shut down in March. So we had April, May, June, July, August, September, 6 months. that we were kind of like, it was in May that we decided we were never going back to a physical location. June, July, we were kind of like, what, we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know what this online space is going to look like. In August, we were taking a walk and I said to Chuck, we have got to do something. I mean, number one, BBF is just kind of staying right where it is. It's a little stale. Like what we gotta ignite some life into it. And I said, and
I was gonna just not even join us today because she's so mean to me. She's laughing at my you're evil. I was making you sweat.
You don't make me sweat.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Chuck almost died.
If Chuck goes down in a workout, we keep going.
No man left behind. Hold on, I'm just gonna step over your incapacitated.
Well, you have to pass
body.
out on your side of the line.
Okay. Anyways, so it was a year ago.
A year ago, and we were taking a walk, and I remember we were right on the sidewalk over here, and I said, I have to do something, and I said it with probably a little more sadness in my voice. I felt like crap. None of my clothes fit. I was the heaviest I had been in probably the whole time we had been together. I was the largest I had been. Like, I just did not feel good at all. My body didn't feel good. I was sleeping terrible. I was napping every day. Like, it was just not who I was at my best.
Yeah, I remember distinctly we were on that walk and she was just saying, I don't feel good about the way I feel. And I remember her saying that very clearly to me, saying, I don't like the way I fit in my clothes. And it was interesting. So at first, of course, being very supportive, right? Like, no, it's all right. It's okay. You look amazing. And of course, like, I meant all of that, but she kept repeating it and it made me think, she wouldn't be saying it multiple times over if it really wasn't hitting her. And it kind of forced me too, in a way, to take a look at what we were doing and how we were showing up. I had not done anything to track my progress in at least 3 months. Like, nothing measurable. I wasn't on the scale. I wasn't taking measurements.
You weren't taking pictures.
I wasn't taking pictures. The only way, the only way that I could even slightly tell was during COVID in the very beginning, we were encouraging everybody to put their jeans on once a week. Put your jeans on. It's Jeans Friday. Get dressed up. Put clothes on that you were wearing prior. Put professional attire on or your jeans, and just to not only to feel confident, but like, if you're wearing sweatpants every day, how do you even know if things are really changing? Especially if you're avoiding the mirror, if you're doing a lot of these things, right? Like, we were just in the midst of a whirlwind, and I started to look at the habits, and I'm sure we'll talk about this in a moment.
Yep.
So as COVID started in, like March, but our summer last summer, like June and July and August, leading up to the very start of 21 Tough in September of 2020, we were getting outside. We were having cocktails. We would have a few people over here a little bit, like when it was like kind of okay and safe to like have people over and stuff. And it was very much social. It was pizza night on Mondays. It was just getting out of control. Our daughter at the time was still living at home. She was working at a grocery store, bringing home treats for us. Hey guys, you want to bring some? Sure, yeah. She worked in the bakery. Of course, like cookies are the way to my heart. Cookies and coffee.
But one of the biggest lessons I learned over the past year was it wasn't because I was physically struggling that I ended up putting that weight on and feeling the way I did. It was because I was emotionally struggling. I was making choices that I wouldn't normally make because I emotionally wasn't okay. I was sad. I was borderline depressed. I wasn't even thinking about the love for myself anymore. I wasn't thinking about anything like that. I was emotionally struggling. And that led to the choices that put me in the physical struggle. And sometimes I think that we think that the physical struggle is the struggle. It's something deeper than that. And we don't always like to face that. We don't always like to think about that. But for me, it was the emotional struggle. So the biggest lessons we've learned over the past year, number one, change requires change. There's no way around it. If something has to change, you have to change something. It won't just happen on its own. Carrie, good morning. Change requires change. And if you are not willing to do that, if you are not willing to face those facts, you are really going to have a hard time moving forward.
Yep.
All right, number 2.
This is your show.
Number 2, this is our show. Whether you pass out or not. All right. You will only accomplish what your mind believes. And that too, this is a massive one. If you go into a challenge and you think, I can't do this, I've never been able to do this, I'm not an early person, whatever it is you are telling yourself is going to be the truth. It's going to be the facts of what happens in your next 21 days, in your next 90 days, in your next 6 months, in your next year. Whatever you are telling yourself and what you believe is where you're going to go. You have to change that mindset. I don't like tracking. I hate tracking. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. If you don't change that verbiage to yourself, you're right.
So, yeah, I'll take it from here too.
Yes.
So, mindset. What is mindset? It is a set of beliefs that drive your daily decisions. What is your mindset? It's what you believe at your core. It's what it activates the conscious and subconscious, right? Actions, right? Things you do consciously, things you do subconsciously. You just do them, right? Which becomes habits, which becomes your habits. Your rituals, right? The things that you do on the daily. All right. So if you believe having healthy teeth is important, you brush your teeth every day, right? Like that's just something you believe you do. If you believe it's important to have a tidy room, you make your bed every day. Like these are just things that you kind of almost unconsciously do every single day. If you don't believe that, you probably struggle. Some days you make it, some days you don't. Sometimes you brush your teeth, sometimes you don't. Or if you're like, I could care less, you just don't do it at all, right? So as Coach said, whatever your beliefs were or currently are will dictate your behavior. So in order to create any kind of change, and actually more than just change, transformation,
yes,
long-term change, something that will stick for a lifetime, that is true transformation. It all begins here. And you're going to have to shatter some beliefs. You're going to have to shatter some, destroy and die to some of these beliefs because they do not serve you. And a lot of these things come from fear. And then that's totally understandable. They come from fear. They come from doubt. They come from previous experiences, things that you've tried and failed, right? It comes from the people you surround you with, things that you hear from other people. Well, you did that twice before, 3 times before, and it never worked. Why is it going to work now, right? You got to shatter that story. You have to have faith.
There's a big one out there that we hear all the time, and this is a story. I don't know. ... I don't know how to do this. I don't know how many calories to eat. I don't know what to eat, what to do. You only get to say that once. You only get to say that once.
Because if it's a matter of lack of knowledge, then you go and seek it out.
You seek it out. And I'm going to say for almost everybody on here, if that is one of your things, but Roxanne, I don't know. Ask me.
Yep.
Research.
And
then you know.
And then knowing, as they say in G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. Yo,
but it's true.
Joe, right? Because knowing's only half the battle. What's the other half? Then you got to do something.
Then you got to take action with what you know. And that's where the struggle is. We know. I'm going to say whatever you're saying right now that I don't know, you probably do know. You're just afraid to step forward into the knowledge. That's what it is. You are afraid to step forward into the knowledge because once you take a step, you're committed and you don't want to fail. None of us want to fail. So we live in the I don't know. You can only say it once. All right, number 3 lesson, honesty. Now this is, Chuck and I could probably go on about this all week long. Honesty. Where are you really starting from in your journey? A lot of times we're going to say, I have 20 pounds to lose. That's not where you're starting from. I'm a size 12. I want to be a size 8. That's not where you're starting from. It's not your weight that you're starting from. It's where are you emotionally? What are your traumas? What are your triggers? That's where you're starting from. Those are the things you have to face before you ever face what your weight loss goal is or what your size goal is or what your health goal is. You have to face the things that have gotten you where you are today. Why do you overeat? Why is it when you get stressed, you consume alcohol? Those are the facts of where you're at. Those are the things you have to face.
So this morning's Bible study was I don't know the exact verse. It's John 8 something. I don't know, but all I know is the truth will set you free, right? Like that was the verse of the day. The truth will set you free. I agree with that, and then I believe there's another portion of that. The truth will set you free, right? Like, yes, I get it, but like here's also the truth. No one's coming to save you. If you're looking for salvation, that's a different conversation. Salvation comes in the form of something that no other human could ever give you. But your own personal liberation, the chains that hold you down, the chains that hold you down, those are the stories, chain, narrative, chain, beliefs, chain, right? Your fears, chains. In order to liberate you, right? Liberation is based off of the facts of your life, where you are now, but what you're willing to do. Like, are you willing to do what's required or are you not? And I don't mean to say that to scare you. This isn't about trying to scare anybody. This isn't about, being aggressive or anything. I'm like, the truth is the facts of your life truly are what liberate you. We had to take a very hard look at ourselves, understanding ourselves emotionally. And understanding ourselves emotionally then opened up the door for us to better understand our triggers, our habits, what we were doing, right? We were using food to compensate, right, for these emotional triggers.
Cope.
Coping, yeah.
Cope.
Yeah.
Yes, alcohol, using it to cope. Food, using it to cope. Binging TV, using it to cope. All of that was used to cope because for me, I was sad. I was lonely. I felt like my world had come crumbling in on it and I didn't have a say in it until I realized how empowered I was by what was happening. And that's where we have to get. What can you be empowered with today? Can you be the leader of your family? I know so many people say, I can't give up alcohol because my spouse won't. I can't give up eating this because my spouse won't. I can't give up doing this because my kid's this. Empower yourself. Take back control of your choices and your life. Be empowered because I guarantee people are going to see that. They're going to be inspired and they're going to want to do what you're doing. They're going to want to know how you do it. I know there's so many of you on here who've gotten that question over the past year. What are you doing? And it's not a weight loss program. It's not a fitness program. You took back control of your choices.
We're going to start wrapping it up. But for the 40 of you that are on here, if you're willing to share, we would love to know. If you've been with us for a month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, what's one story? What's one chain that you've broken? What's a story that you've had over the last amount of time that you've seen us on Coffee Talks, challenges, member, whatever? Like, what's a story that you had that you've broken that you now feel set free by? Because it is a mindset. It is a story. It is a narrative. It is a way of living that you were choosing to, a path you were choosing to walk, and you had to pick, am I going to walk this way or this way? One way serves you, another does not. If you weren't where you wanted to be, you had to stop dead in your tracks and say, I can no longer walk this path anymore. I now have to take a right turn or a left turn or a 180 degree turn, right? We had to take a 180.
We had to take a 180.
We had to flip a 180. And here's something that I think is absolutely crucial and empowering to our story. We were out of control. Here's the story that we had. The story that we had was, we're in control.
I have control over my glass of wine.
Lies.
Yes.
No, here is the one and only thing we had control over before September of 2020. Our fitness. We showed up 6 days a week, right? We had control over that, and we were doing great with it. And I said to Coach Roxanne, I said, you know what? I am going to give up alcohol for 30 days, which ended up being almost 200 days. I said, because I need to make sure that I can right now, I feel like I have control. I don't. And sugar. I went down to counting my sugar to 1 time a week, and I was tracking it, and I had to be measurable. I said, I need to regain control, but I need to prove to myself through tracking that I have control over this. Otherwise, I'm fooling myself.
Yep.
Completely
yep.
fooling myself.
Lori, I love this chat. Michelle, saying goodbye to people and alcohol. I love it. That's a chain she's broken. Lori, I've broken the link of comparison. Changed everything. I love it. I love it. I love it. What was, and you guys can type this out later if you want to think, what was your story? Or what is your story? Do you need help with your story? We're here. We're here. We have such an amazing supportive community. If you are a part of the BBF community, reach out to people. Put something in the group. Share, be vulnerable. You are never going to find a community like this probably ever again. Use it while you have it. Mary, stopping the I deserve this treat because of. Yes. And you know what? We were doing that too. That's how I justified almost everything. But we're doing 2 workouts a day. Yeah. But I'm really not eating that bad. 1 drink isn't going to hurt me.
Well, here, why do people end up in bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship? Or why do they end up in jobs that they hate all the time? It's this sense of worthiness, right? I'm not worthy of somebody who would love me and care for me. It's a worthiness conversation, and they're trying to put their worthiness in another job, in another person. And these are stories, these are narratives that you need to absolutely shatter. It's a yo-yo, yo-yo dieting. And my mother, and she would, if she was sitting here right now, she would 100% agree with this. My mother is 70, she'll turn 71. She'll turn 71 in this month.
This month,
71. She has just shattered her narrative in the last 7 years, right? She was the ultimate yo-yo dieter, ultimate. And she would tell you, she broke down in tears telling me the story of how that she was using, she wasn't worthy, using food to cope with decades of unworthiness, just the way that her family, talked to her and raised her and said things and all this kind of stuff, right? And and just using a diet, a thing, this thing is going to change me. But no diet is going to change you internally, because once you come out of the diet, you just go back to what your underlying narrative is.
And you know what? And I want to use the example of the people who have been on The Biggest Loser. There's a reason they get results, amazing results, but go home back to reality, and then they put all their weight back on. And it's not just because their environment is that they're not working out and eating all day. It's because they didn't fix this.
Yep.
The same triggers, the same traumas, the same stress are still at home waiting for them, but they were sheltered from it by living someplace else for a certain amount of time. It's not the food and the fitness. That will only take you so far if you don't work on this.
You don't have a weight loss problem.
Yes.
You don't have a fitness problem. You don't have a nutrition problem. You have a mindset problem / blockage,
yes.
right? You need to smash. That is the obstacle.
That is.
If you are struggling, good. This is a good thing. And that sounds really crazy to say that. But if you're struggling, that is a divine intervention. If you're in the pit right now, or you've gotten results and you're frustrated, that's awesome. Take this time to really figure it out.
What is your mind telling you? When we are struggling, when we're sad, when we're depressed, when we have anxiety, what is your mind trying to tell you? It's trying to tell you something. Are you listening? Or are you just coping with what it's trying to tell you and you don't want to face the truth? That's a very hard, honesty is really hard. It can be, even with ourselves, it can be very hard. Lynn, been watching since July and my mindset has changed. Journaling since then, and my choices are changing for food. Now time for another step in my journey. I love it, Lynn. Lisa, so many things. Alcohol, anxiety, overall health. I love it. Amy Dobeck. I no longer let the scale tell me how I'm feeling about my body. I've also learned that to put myself first and make time for workouts. There's still enough left of me after the workout to give some of me to my family.
That's
and
awesome.
You know what? You will not reap the rewards of that for years, but you will reap the rewards of that. Your children and your spouse and the rest of your family will see that, and you will reap the rewards of that, but it will be down the road. A lot of this journey does not become recognizable for years.
I would challenge you. All right, I said I was going to wrap it up 10 minutes ago, but take an opportunity to take a blank sheet of paper and just write out what your stories, what are your beliefs, what are your stories, what comes to your mind. Oh, if you pass out, we just keep going, Roxanne. Oh, yeah. See, how does it feel? Oh, it's okay.
The coffee tray. Is there poison in here?
Maybe. Put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Now we need to end it.
No, that was... Well,
Now we need to
you'd have
end
to be a member to understand that. Anyways, guys, write out your stories. It's time to smash them, destroy them, shatter them, write them out, own them, and burn them.
Right. I want to know, what is your story? What
Bury
is the
them.
story that's holding you back?
Bury them.
We're going to cut this short. We have been yakking for what, 22
All right, so here's the deal.
minutes.
I love it. Here's the deal. The September 21-day challenge is the last 21-day challenge of the year. There will not be any more. So if you want in on this, we start next Monday. Registration ends this week. Sign up. I'll put a link here. Oh, we forgot to put a little link in, but I'll put it in the comments, guys. Or go to betterbodyfitness.life/21-day challenge. betterbodyfitness.life/21-day challenge. Get yourself signed up. It's $1 a day. $21 for 21 days. 21 days of workouts, daily fit challenges, daily accountability, a group unlike any you've ever seen before, amazing coaches, accountability, nutrition programming, you name it. It goes on and on and on. No more excuses. Let's do this together.
We have
Get
4
signed
months.
up this week.
We have 4 months left in this year. What are you going to accomplish in those 4 months?
And it was just a year ago we started this process, so a year will go by fast.
Yes.
We'll have this conversation again in 2021,
Yep.
2022, 2022, looking back
Yes.
at this last year, being like, do you remember last year when we did that talk?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right, my friends, we love you all. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. What is your story?
Have a great day.